Hello friends, in this video we'll see the observations, sample calculation, result table, graphs and conclusion of experiment number 1, which is verification. Previous 3 videos you have already seen on this experiment. This will be the last one in which you will be going to see all these points. These are the observations which we have taken on an actual setup. 2 such set is considered here. You can see these observations and you can refer to these observations so that you can calculate the further values. The methodology of calculation is very simple. First of all, you will be calculating the discharge in terms of meter cube per second. Now you are given rotameter reading because you are going to measure that, which is in terms of liter per hour. So multiplying that with 10 to the power minus 3 will give you in terms of meter cube per hour, and divide by 360 will give you in terms of meter cube per second. Area of nozzle, since the diameter of nozzle is fixed, you have calculated here. Then you will be calculating the velocity of nozzle, which will be varying as per the discharge. So discharge per unit area will give you velocity. Then you have to calculate the actual impulse force. So in this setup, here you can see in this diagram, here your fulcrum is there. So this is going to rotate about this fulcrum, and your plate is kept somewhere here. So you will be applying force. Okay. This is going to deflect the lever upward direction. What you are going to do, you are going to put the weight here and you are going to relocate somewhere so that the lever get balanced. So at this position, when the lever get balanced, this force into this distance x2 is balanced by this weight into this distance x1, and therefore Fa into x2, which is equal to W1 into x1, and since this will be in terms of the kg, you can multiply that by g. You will be getting the value of the force, actual force in terms of the g, in terms of the Newton. These notations has its usual meaning, so just now I have explained these notations. Then once you calculate the actual force, you have to calculate the theoretical impulse force, which you already know from the analysis part. And for the case of flat plane or flat vane, you can calculate the theoretical force, which is equal to rho a v square, and for the curved plate the force will be calculated as rho a v square into 1 plus cos phi, where phi is the angle of the plate. Then at the end, once you calculate the actual force and theoretical force, you can calculate the coefficient of impact. Now you have understood what is meant by coefficient of impact, because whatever the theoretical force you calculate, the actual force will not be same. The reason is the impact is not per point. So what is the coefficient of impact? That you can calculate once you calculate the theoretical and actual force. Okay. Now the two objective, how that is getting satisfied, that I'll explain you at the end when we will be writing the conclusion. We'll see the sample calculation for very first observation. Here in this case, very first reading of the first observation, you can see in the observation table the rotameter reading is given 1440. So you have calculated the discharge, then area of cross section of nozzle, which is fixed, and since the diameter of nozzle is given and we are not changing the nozzle, so area is fixed. You have calculated the velocity of the nozzle, which comes out to be 5.096 meter per second, and then you calculate the actual impulse force. Since in this case, in the observation itself, it's given that W is equal to 68 and x1 that is 24.4, which is the movable distance of movable weight, and distance of the plate is x2, which is 12.5 and is fixed. If you multiply this with 9.81, you will be getting the force, actual force, which is 1.302 Newton actually. Okay, and as I told you, the theoretical force will be higher than the actual force. If you go and calculate the theoretical force, since this is the flat plate, you can say rho a v. So if you put the value of velocity, you will be getting the theoretical force 2.038 Newton. That means what? That theoretically the force which should be there is around 2.038, but actual force you can see is 1.302, and you have calculated the coefficient of impact. You have calculated the coefficient of impact, which is 0.639. Once you do all calculation on your sheet, because see, we cannot write the lengthy report wherein the 10-15 pages of calculation is attached. You can do it in your copy. You can directly write the calculation and complete the result table for both the types of plate, flat plate and hemispherical plate. So for this calculation, sample 1, okay, I have done the calculations and this is the result table. You have to draw two graphs also. Which are those two graphs? One is variation of discharge with theoretical and actual force for flat plate, and second is variation of discharge with theoretical and actual force for hemispherical or curved plate. Once you drawn this graph, it's shown here graphs. See, this is the variation of discharge with theoretical and actual force for flat plate. So as your force increases, theoretical case, which is higher than the actual, as your discharge increases, force also increases. And if you see the trend line, it keep on increasing as discharge. Same is the case with the actual force also. And for the case of hemispherical plate, again similar kind of trends are seen here. I'll show you with the Excel sheet how we are going to calculate the values and how we are going to draw the graph. Okay. Once you draw the graph and once you form the result table, you have to study the result table and graph, and you can draw some conclusion out of it. What are the conclusions drawn by me from this observation? So conclusions may be, since your first objective was to verify impulse momentum principle, you can see the value of k. Since the value of k is lying in between 0 to 1, you can say the impulse momentum principle is verified, because Fa is equal to Ft with the constant which is called as the k, and this k you are going to experimentally find out. You may have questioned that how the people are going to find the constant. This is the way people are finding. And again you can see the average value of the k, which for the case of flat vane is 0.661 and for the case of hemispherical vane it is 0.697. So what it shows you that the coefficient of impact for the hemispherical vane is more than the flat. Obvious it will be, because the curvature that leads to have the better impact, and that's why the coefficient of impact is better in the case of the hemispherical. Again with this, if you extend the line which is theoretical line, you will see that theoretical line is passing through the zero, whereas the actual line is starting after some x-axis. So that will show you that how much minimum discharge required to start with the deflection. And then you can see the possible causes of error also, since the coefficient of impact is different for different observations. The possible causes of error will be like the plate is not exactly at the center of the jet. Then there are chances of having the water which is flowing through one of the corner of the nozzle, and so many reasons could be there for having the error or having the different values of the FA and FT. Okay, so once you analyze the error out of it, you will be able to perfectly calculate the coefficient of impact. So that's it from my side. I'll request all of you to note down the observation number 2. I'll be uploading the videos. I'll be uploading the write-up for the experiment number 1, wherein using the second observation which is given in this presentation, you can complete your experiment and you will be submitting that for further assessment. Thank you very much for